everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Jess. I am with the Chelmsford Public Library, and I'm here with Lauren Masse of Mindful Minis Boston. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes.
Hi, guys. How are you doing tonight? Tonight is our last class for this session, which is really sad. But I've had such a great time being here with all of you. And I hope that you enjoy tonight's session. It's going to be half meditation and half more of, I'm going to have some slides up for those of you who are visual. And we're going to talk about a couple of tangible tools for reducing stress. So let's start out with one question to start off in the chat. What is one good thing that happened today? What's one good thing that happened today? For me, I made a soup, and I feel like I haven't been cooking much for myself lately, and it just turned out really well. And I got to use a lot of stuff from my freezer, which I love. I love not wasting food. So that was cool. So that was a good thing that happened to me today. What's one good thing that happened to you guys? All right. Yeah, we got much needed rain. Absolutely. It gets to be such a cozy day. This is like a great day for meditation inside because it was so like gloomy today. Got a massage. That's wonderful. My dog had a good appointment at the vet. That's great. I love dogs so much. Went out for a walk. Good. Yeah, there was like breaks in between the rain. Spent time with your grandchildren. Wonderful. I drew 2 or 3 pictures, which is your new hobby. That's wonderful, Helen. We drove to a yurt in Vermont. It's lovely here in nature. That's so cool. Oh my goodness. Finished craft projects. Good for you. Got out for a walk. Wonderful. Flu shot. Another massage. Amazing. Beautiful foliage. Oh my gosh, it's been so beautiful out. Calm and peaceful day. Read a book. I need to read more. I need to do that. I didn't get soaked in the rain. That's great. Went to see Ticket to Paradise. What is that? Is that a new movie? Positive. I'm seeing positive meeting with allergist. That's great. Sitting by your fire, so cozy. That's wonderful. This is going to be perfect for meditation. And Yvette also cooked with things in her freezer. Slept in. Sandy needs to read less. That's funny. Sent out birthday Halloween cards to friends and family. Perfect. All right. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. I love just kind of starting off with a little bit of positivity. It can lift everyone up. We can lift each other up together.
So wonderful. We love these sessions so much, and we are so thankful that Lauren Masse is able to come online with us for these sessions. Just a half an hour every week. And you just take a break. It's wonderful. Everyone can fit a half an hour into their day. So about tonight's presenter, if this is your first session with Lauren, Lauren Masse is dedicated and committed to supporting others in their mental health and physical wellness journeys. She studied psychology and public health at UMass Amherst and has a master's of public health from Boston University. She's a certified holistic health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and she founded Mindful Minis Boston in 2018 and offers mindfulness classes and private coaching. Tonight she's going to guide us in a session of mindfulness for stress relief. I know so many of us need this these days. This class will include a short grounding meditation followed by an introduction to various mindfulness-based stress relief tools. And it seems like a lot of you have found the chat. So just if you have questions or comments, please send them to the chat, and Lauren will go through them at the end of the session. And again, my name is Jessica. I'm with the Chelmsford Library. I will send you out a follow-up email tomorrow with the recording of this class and the previous classes, and also a short evaluation form so that you can let us know how you liked it. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you so very much. It's wonderful being here with you. I'm going to go ahead and pin my screen. Okay, great. So, welcome everyone. If you are just logging on tonight, as Jessica just said, we're going to do a quick meditation, and then I'm going to share a little PowerPoint presentation that kind of is just talking about mindfulness and how to use it as a stress relief tool and different ways that we can reduce stress in our life. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a quick sound check with you guys. So go over to the chat and let me know if you want it to be turned up, down, or if it's good. Now, this should just be kind of faint in the background. It shouldn't be overpowering my voice. All right. I'm seeing lots of goods. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and get started. So just get a comfortable place to sit, whether that is seated like me on the floor. Maybe you're in a chair, with your back against it and your feet on the floor. Maybe you're lying down, whatever you'd prefer. Then we're also going to allow our arms to relax and our shoulders to fall away from our ears, and allow our arms to just rest in our lap or by our side. And we can go ahead and close our eyes. Nice exhale, all the air out of our body. And big inhale in through the nose. An audible sigh out. One more of those. Inhale through the nose. An audible sigh. It's almost like we are releasing some pressure that's built up in our body. And just return to normal breathing for now. We're just going to witness ourselves breathing normally. Just taking a moment to be here with our body, be still, and get quiet with ourselves for a little bit. Allowing this moment to invite you into sinking deeper into relaxation. Witnessing ourselves breathe. An act of mindfulness. We're going to use a visualization tonight of a balloon for our breath. I want you to imagine that you have a balloon in your stomach. This is just our imagination. And as you breathe, that balloon in our lower belly fills with air. You can see maybe a calming color of smoke fill the balloon. And you watch it deflate as you breathe out. Really filling that belly with air, breathing in, watching the balloon. And breathe out. Filling your belly, shoulders relaxed, and emptying out as the muscles of your core contract. filling the belly and emptying out. Breathing on your own with this visualization. Purposefully sending air into your lower belly and emptying out. Two more breaths just like this. And returning to normal breath. Taking a moment to bask in gratitude for this moment that you've gifted yourself. Feeling grateful for this day. Feeling grateful for your home, maybe your comfy bed, your friends, family, maybe any pets or animals you may have or interact with throughout the day. Thankful for the earth and all the elements. Thankful for certain senses that you are capable of. Thankful for yourself and the food and water that maybe you had today. I'm thankful for your breath, giving you life each moment. I want you to take your hands and put them together at your heart space. And begin to just rub them back and forth, creating warmth in between your hands, being present with this feeling. You're going to take your hands and you're going to put them over your eyes. And as you put their hands over your eyes, you feel relaxation soften the muscles of your face, relaxing the muscles of your jaw. Gratitude moves down to relax the muscles of your shoulders and neck, arms, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers. Going back up the arm to relax the muscles of the back and the chest. Allowing your hands to rest away from your eyes if you'd like, as the relaxation moves to your stomach. Breathing in, filling the stomach, and allowing your stomach to be as it is as you relax, as you breathe out. Relaxation and gratitude moving down your legs, over your knees, your calves, the tops and the bottom of your feet, and all of your toes. Fully sinking into any relaxation that you can access in this moment. Deep breath in through the nose and breathe it out. Deep breath in through the nose and breathe it out. and return to normal breath. Taking these final moments for ourselves to relax and be still here with ourselves. And whenever you're ready, we can begin to move our toes and fingers, just slightly, waking our body up a little bit. Just gentle movement. And we can slowly blink open our eyes whenever you're ready. No rush. Now, if you are moving your body and maybe you're getting up from lying down, just move really slowly. And if you have water next to you or tea like me, maybe take a sip. When our body is in this relaxed state, sometimes we just need to move slowly. Okay, so how are we feeling? Let me know in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. It was half as long as we typically meditate for, but this might be a good one to come back to, maybe do in the morning if you don't have a ton of time. All right, wonderful, calm, relaxed. That's good. Very good. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so nearly fell asleep. I know that happens, right? All right, I'm so glad that you guys are feeling like that. So if you don't want to stay for the rest of today's class, that's totally okay. If you just wanted to be there for the meditation, feel free to hop off the call. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And thank you for being here with me during this October meditation series. Oh, wow. Judy says that when she was coming back to, she saw metallic, beautiful colors. That's so cool. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is go dive into some of those mindfulness tools that could be helpful for stress. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because it's always nice to have a visual when we're learning something new. And for the time that we have left, which is about 12 minutes, we can go ahead and learn something that could help our everyday life, perhaps. All right, so I first wanted to just give an introduction to what mindfulness is. I like how John Kabat-Zinn phrases this definition of mindfulness. He says, mindfulness is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So he kind of breaks down all of these pieces of mindfulness. And some of the big ones here are awareness. It's really mindfulness is all about awareness. You are paying attention. So this is on purpose. You're not distracted. You're choosing to be aware of something in this present moment. And he adds that non-judgmentally piece in. There's this essence of acceptance, awareness and acceptance put together is this practice of mindfulness. So Mindfulness is really helpful for many things. So you can think about, okay, so now we know what mindfulness is, but what does that actually look like in our everyday life? Is it just like me being aware of, okay, I'm here now, I'm aware of this present moment? How is that helpful? Um, so mindfulness could look like being aware of your being non-judgmentally aware of your inner world. So your feelings, your thoughts, your physical sensations, your emotions. And it can also look like being aware of your external world. So using your senses to be present here in this moment. It's all about being in this present moment. So why would that be helpful? Well, it can help refocus our attention when we're distracted by the future or the past. When we are feeling stressed or anxious, or maybe we're worrying, it happens in our mind, and it's typically about something that's not happening right now. It's usually about things that may not even happen in the future, but we're thinking about them and we're making assumptions, and we're kind of jumping into the future in our mind. And we are kind of feeling separated from our physical body. And this causes a lot of dysregulation. Or we're thinking about the past. Memories are making us sad, or we're making assumptions about how people feel or the reasoning behind others' actions or events in the past. And that can make us feel dysregulated as well. So whether we're distracted by the future and what might happen, and the past and what has already happened and we don't have control over, coming back to being in here now in our physical body can help us kind of like cut the cords from thinking about those things, to consciously choose to focus on what's happening in this moment. So what does that look like? I could notice I'm thinking about the future, the past. I notice that. I'm not going to be angry with myself. I choose to feel my feet on the floor, right? Be here in your body now. I choose to take a deep breath to be more here in my physical body. Breathing also helps us regulate ourselves and helps us move from the stress response into more of the rest and digest parasympathetic part of our nervous system. So not only does it help you connect back with your body in this present moment and pay attention to what's happening now, but it also helps calm your nervous system. So mindfulness can help us uh, get a little more regulated when we're thinking about the future or past. It also helps reduce suffering by bringing acceptance to the present moment. Much suffering happens when we are resisting the present moment, when we don't want to be thinking the thoughts that we're thinking, we don't want to be feeling the thoughts that we're feeling, we don't want whatever's happening to be happening. And mindfulness is being in this present moment and allowing what this moment is bringing to just happen. We're almost viewing thoughts, feelings, emotions, and events in life like we are watching traffic go by. We're kind of just observing neutrally as best as we can the things that are happening. And mindfulness also helps us thoughtfully respond to things rather than react. When we are more aware of how we're feeling, when we are being a bit more mindful, then we don't have to respond right away in this stress response. It's almost, think about getting an email that sparks feelings and emotions, and then you want to respond right away. And perhaps you regret what you say later, or maybe someone's bothering you and you quickly react to them. Mindfulness and having a mindfulness practice helps you create a little bit more space between the stimulus and the response that you have. So when we think about stress reduction, there are several different categories that we can put stress reduction tools into. The first one is prevention. We can prevent the stress from happening. I have a little bit of notes here. So mindfulness is, well, part of mindfulness is about being non-judgmentally aware of things. And we can use this awareness of ourselves to self-regulate and to manage ourselves. So we can practice being aware of unhelpful behaviors that we might have in our life, some of those unhelpful habits. We can become more non-judgmentally aware of the things in our life that trigger stress. And then we can be non-judgmentally aware also about the boundaries that we may or may not have with those habits and with those triggers of stress. So what are some unhelpful behaviors that we could be aware of? Maybe that is scrolling on social media endlessly. Maybe you can be aware of how that's making you feel. Maybe it's staying up too late at night and then you don't get enough sleep, and then it just sends a cascade of effects throughout the day. Maybe it's drinking. Maybe it's talking to certain people that you don't want to be talking to. Maybe you're overbooking yourself and you're saying yes to too many things. Or maybe it's lack of movement. There's so many behaviors and habits that we have that are typically related to survival. Maybe we adapted these mechanisms a long time ago to just survive in a difficult moment, and they've become a habit. And because of that, we can cultivate some compassion for ourselves around the behaviors and habits that we have, because we were just doing our best at that moment, and then it kind of turned into a habit. So we can, whenever we're trying to let go of an unhelpful habit, we want to think of what purpose is that habit serving? Because once we take away that habit, we want to replace it with something else that serves the same purpose. So imagine if I'm scrolling endlessly on social media because I'm trying to distract myself from a feeling that I have. Maybe that's loneliness, or I'm bored, or I'm stressed and I'm looking for a distraction. What's something more helpful that could help soothe that loneliness or soothe that stress? And can I do that behavior instead? Can I make that a habit? And can I just show up to those unhelpful behaviors and habits with a lot of loving awareness? Because maybe we're not ready to change and get rid of the habit. Maybe we're not ready to lower the frequency in which we do those things. So just be really compassionate with yourself. We can also be aware of the triggers that we have in our life that trigger stress in our life. Maybe that is, saying yes to too many things, working with certain people on projects, working too late, coming in after work and people demanding things of you. Everyone's different, right? There's like endless examples, but we can identify those things with loving awareness and then think of what boundaries we're going to set with those people, places, or things. Setting boundaries, we can think of that as, what am I going to say no to so I can say yes to something later that is more in favor of my mental health? So am I going to say no to binging all of Game of Thrones after this class so I can say yes to getting better sleep? Yes, I will hopefully do that. Am I going to say no to skipping movement tomorrow so I can get better sleep? That wasn't a good example, but what can you say no to so you can say yes to something later? Now, so that's the prevention side of stress reduction. We can also think of many tools like meditation that help us relax and calm ourselves and let go of energy that's making us feel icky, sad, stuck, heavy, and recharge. So meditation's good for that. What are some other things that you like that you find calming? Put that in the chat so we can have some examples. And the last type of stress reduction tool includes things that help you process or release emotions or thoughts about a certain situation. So processing tools look like journaling. That way you get whatever's in your head out of your head onto a piece of paper so it can live there, right? So you can sort things out and you can release. Another processing tool looks like venting to a family member or a friend. A great processing tool is prayer and talking out loud. And of course, traditional mental health therapy is a wonderful processing tool. And we can also incorporate tools that help us release energy and thoughts and emotions, such as movement. Other ways that we can release is anything creative. We can get that out, get that energy out. I don't really do it anymore. I should, right? There's all these things that we want to be doing more of, but it's like making it a habit, making time for it. And I totally get that. But a creative tool for me was knitting. And I found that when I knit at night, I had less nightmares. And I found that it was just a time for the stuff and mess in my brain to just kind of, I don't know, get out, get it out into the knitting. And it also was, the thoughts were just able to go through what they needed to say and then leave a bit so I could have a better night's sleep. It was really interesting. So let's go over to the chat. This is what people find calming. So I see walking in the woods. Yes, I totally agree. Bike riding, being in nature, going for walks, petting my cat, time in nature, gardening, listening to music, lots of walking in the woods, nature, dancing, listening, coloring mandalas, audiobooks, listening to audiobooks. Exercise has also helped you recharge and rebalance, taking an art class, learning to paint, and playing solitaire. Yeah, playing solitaire also helps me relax because I find that I'm organizing something when I feel out of control, and that's really wonderful. Okay, so it is 8:03. If you have to hop off the call, I totally understand and thank you for being here. But we do have one more slide because I always have too much information to share. So a couple other mindfulness tools that help us reduce stress include starting your day off with something mindful. This could look like a daily task that you do without thinking about it, like brushing your teeth, like having your morning cup of coffee, like letting your dogs out and waiting for them to do their business. So these things that you do every day, what we're going to do is be fully present with our senses, fully present with our 5 senses during this task. And it's helpful if it's something short, like brushing your teeth. Well, however long you're supposed to brush your teeth for. So start your day off with mindfulness by choosing a daily task to be fully present for it. Or you could try a quick meditation in the morning. There are a lot of wonderful guided meditation apps such as Headspace, Insight Timer. Love that one. Headspace is where I actually learned at first to meditate. It's very helpful. The Calm app is really helpful too. Another type of mindfulness activity that you could do is just kind of sit still with yourself. You don't have to be doing a guided meditation. Just kind of sit still, watch your thoughts, notice yourself breathing. And I find that when you start your day off like that, you have more space in your mind throughout the day. And it helps you be more mindful with the rest of your day, with the way that you're feeling, with the thoughts that you're having, and having that space in between stimulus and response. So really helpful to start your day off like that. Breathing is such a powerful tool for reducing stress. It helps you come back to your body when you're feeling dysregulated, when you're thinking a lot of thoughts and feeling emotions. Breathing helps you regulate yourself. It also helps you prepare for stressful events, such as, I don't know if anyone resonates with this, but I get faint when I'm hungry. So if I'm hungry while going to a restaurant, or I'm going to have to wait to eat, I know I'm going to feel anxious. So I will do a type of breath to prepare for this stressful event. Also being in crowds, if people don't like that, you can do a 4-7-8 breath. So you breathe in for 4, you hold your breath at the top for 7, but if you're feeling anxious, just however long you're able to do that for, maybe like 3 seconds. And then you breathe out slowly for 8 seconds through your mouth. So you breathe in for 4, you hold your breath for 7, and then you breathe out for 8. So that breath has also been described to me as a tranquilizer breath. You do spend a good amount of seconds not inhaling, and so it can make you feel a little lightheaded. It's only recommended that you do it 1 or 2 times. So I do it a couple times before maybe I'm going somewhere that I don't want to be, or I'm having social anxiety or something like that. Or if I feel anxiety coming along, I'll do that breath. I almost always feel better within 5 minutes. Now, another tool, this, just like breathing, this tool's always here with you, is using your senses. It helps you be where your feet are, which is what people typically talk about when they're talking about mindfulness, is just be where your feet are rather than in your mind thinking about other things. So use your senses to come back to this present moment. You can use your senses to be mindful when you notice yourself starting to get stressed out. So senses are a really great tool. Next is awareness of emotion, non-judgmental awareness of emotion. And this can help us be a more thoughtful and educated participant in our emotions and our actions, because when we're not aware of what's going on in our mind and how we're feeling, it's kind of controlling us unconsciously or subconsciously. So we want to bring those feelings out to the forefront so we can deal with them, we can accept them, we can give ourselves a hug, and we can recognize the elephant in the room so we can move through them. I love this tool that I taught a couple of classes ago that I call A Part of Me is Feeling. I just started doing this one day, and my clients really like it as well. You bring your hands together like this. So you're kind of holding yourself, and you repeat the sentence, you complete the sentence. A part of me is feeling. And you complete that sentence over and over again until there's nothing else to say. So you could complete it with a feelings word, like a part of me is feeling scared. You could complete it with more of a description of your thoughts, like a part of me is feeling like my friends are mad at me. You could really say anything. A part of me is nervous for my presentation tomorrow. Part of me, and goes on and on and on. And after that, you open up your hands like this, and you touch your fingertips together as you say a short phrase. You say, and I will be okay. And I will be okay. And I will be okay. And you kind of repeat that a couple of times. And this just really helps you, again, be aware of your emotions, call out those feelings, and accept that you're feeling that way. And that even though you're feeling all these difficult things and you're thinking all these difficult thoughts, and I will be okay. It's really reassuring. And the last tool is non-judgmental awareness of your thoughts, because thoughts really result in feelings. And maybe you feel those feelings in your body, or it's just kind of in your mind. But having non-judgmental awareness of your thoughts can be really helpful for changing the way that you think, for just kind of noticing what's going on in your mind. And when you're doing this non-judgmentally, it's much more helpful than judgmentally. So one of the things you can do when you're being aware of your thoughts is to label them. You can label them as what they're thinking, like what they're about, right? This is about the past. This is about the past. This is about the past. Interesting. This is negative. This is negative. This is negative. And you can notice these themes. Or this is about other people. I'm worried about what people think. I'm worried about what people think. And just notice what's going on. Being aware of something is like 80% of the work. When it comes to being unconsciously controlled by a pattern or belief or behavior. Another thing we can do with our non-judgmental awareness of thought is becoming indifferent and neutral to some of the thoughts that come up in our mind. So imagine if you have a worry that pops up, and maybe it's consistent. We can notice that thought and try to be detached from thinking that it's true, thinking that it's danger. Because really what's happening is our body, our mind is seeing this thought, this worry as dangerous. And then it leads to a stress response in our body, because something doesn't have to physically happen for it to feel real in our mind, in our body. So if we're recounting memories, or we're making assumptions, or what if this happened in the future and that was really bad? We start to feel in our bodies like it's actually happening. So noticing and having more of a detached awareness and witness and observation of a thought, so it feels less dangerous. Another thing that we can do when we're being aware of our thoughts is to question whether they are true. This is very helpful for if we are hard on ourselves or judgmental of ourselves. So imagine if I have this judgment of, I'm a bad friend or something like that, or I'm a bad parent or something like that. We can ask ourselves, is this true? And maybe it feels true in the moment, right? Maybe it feels true. Maybe you say yes to that first question. But then you can ask, can I be absolutely positively sure this is true? Maybe it's not true then, because maybe there's evidence to suggest that the opposite is true, right? Maybe there's evidence to suggest that, like, you are a good friend or a good parent. And then we can also ask ourselves, and I can't remember who created this method. I wish I could credit them, but I don't know who it was. But there's a series of questions that you ask yourself. You ask, is this true? Can I be absolutely positively sure this is true? And then after that, you can ask yourselves, if this were true, what would my life look like? If this were true, what would my life look like? So if I was a bad friend, what would I be doing? What would my life look like? I would be making fun of my friends. I would be talking behind their back. I would be ditching them. I'd be doing all these things. And then you can ask yourselves, if this wasn't true, what would this look like? And it just helps you kind of come back to more logic and reality and be a little more kind to yourself by questioning some of these thoughts that are making you feel bad about yourself. So I know that this is a really interesting collection of tools for reducing stress. But really what I want to get across is that sometimes stress reduction is it seems like, what can you add into your life to reduce stress? Like, I need to exercise more. I need to eat better. I need to meditate. But it also looks like, what can you take away from your life that will reduce stress? Maybe that's saying yes to everything. Maybe it is having no boundaries with those unhelpful habits, or having no boundaries with certain people in your life that are really kicking up your stress. So what conversations can you have with those people, and what boundaries can you set with those areas of your life? There's so much more I could talk about, but we are way over time. I just wanted, if you felt like staying, I just wanted to give you that information. So my question for you is, what are you taking away from today's class? Is there something you're going to try going forward to help reduce your stress? And what would that be? Yes. So Nancy says, thoughts are real, but they're not always true. Absolutely. Judy says, I can't wait till we get this recording. I know it will help. I don't want to forget all these tools. Awesome. More positive thoughts. That's great, Anne. You'll notice that the way I present is very casual, like I'm talking to a friend. Okay. So Carolyn says, be more present and be more kind to myself. Absolutely. I could do that as well. This was amazingly helpful. Becoming indifferent. Thank you so much. Being non-judgmental. Yeah, just being committed to be a non-judgmental witness of, the thoughts and the beliefs and the feelings, helps you create a more compassionate relationship with yourself. All right, Nancy's going to try a part of me is feeling. All right, thank you, Patricia. Asking what purpose a habit is serving, right? Like what am I really seeking right now with this behavior? Yeah. I'm thinking of you, Nancy. Cheryl's going to try being in the moment, awareness of emotion. What am I feeling? Very good. Yeah, the self-talk and saying a part of me is feeling instead of saying I am. Yeah, that's a really good distinction, right? That's exactly why it's phrased like that. A part of me is feeling, not I am mad, I am sad. We're not identifying with it anymore when we're saying like there's a part that's feeling like this. Notice when I start spinning about something in the past or worry about the future, just stop and breathe. Yeah, notice it. Come back to the moment. Morning meditation. All right. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you guys very much for being here. Thanks for staying so much later than expected. This always happens because I don't want to not, I feel like if I only give you 2 tools, it's like not enough. So I just give too much. Someone says, stop blaming myself and be mindful. Yes. Very good, Marilyn. Okay. Well, thank you guys very much for being here, and thank you for being part of this series. The recordings are going to be emailed to you directly. So that's going to happen. I believe Jessica said tomorrow in the next couple of days. So I appreciate you all very much for being here with me. I hope to see you guys again at some point. I know that there's talk of potentially doing it in February, but that's not confirmed. We shall see. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. And thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.